smile, feeling a lot better about things as Kilby Overis takes upstairs for ball one.
By the way, in A ball, Luis Lopez played for Bruce Bochy, the manager of the San Diego Padres.
And a fastball on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike on Veras.
Now you're talking about baseball, not playing the slots or whatever in Vegas.
No. This was an A ball. He wasn't in Vegas at that time. But Bochy was telling me he was very high on him. The only thing is he was concerned about Lopez's injuries.
1-2 now to Kilby Overis. And that's another part of the Mets defensive scheme worth noting tonight. Bernard Gilkey in right field and Butch Husky on the bench. Bobby Valentine trying to get Huskies back going, or pardon me, Gilkey's back going. Right here, 1-2 to the leadoff man, Kilby Overis, and he lays off. The count evens. Overis had been in a pretty bad batting slump until the last week or so. He's got 6 hits now in his last 18 at bats. And the 2-2 fouled away.
When Kilby Overis was with the Florida Marlins, he was known for his speed, but he got in trouble in the clubhouse. They ended up trading him away. He got to the Padres, had a decent year his first year, and then lost his speed the second year, but it's back.
Led the league in stolen bases, but not last year.
That's pulled and a fair ball. Long throw for Alfonso, and it's right there. So good throw by Fonzie, 1 man away.
Was an amazing play by Edgardo Alfonso. The ball right down the line. The ball takes a bad hop up. And he's able to make that play and throw from the foul area. And he got a lot of that throw. Look at this play.
Oh, Ken Caminetti has to be impressed. Caminetti took that Gold Glove last year. Alfonso, I thought, should have won it.
Tony Gwynn fouls the first pitch off. Tony Gwynn, until just the last couple of games, had been anything but Tony Gwynn. Recently went through an 8 for 52 slump at .309 average, awfully low for a man who's won 4 straight batting titles and 8 overall. To the shortstop, Lopez. And quickly, 2 men away.
I asked Tony, the hitter, he would most like to be compared with. I figured it was going to be Ted Williams because he was from San Diego. But he said, Stan the Man Musial.
Not much difference there. In fact, Stan Musial gets so little attention as one of the greatest hitters of all time. 7-time batting champion. One of the great hitters that ever played this game.
Wasn't his batting average almost identical against right-handed and left-handed pitching?
It was identical.
It was. Just exactly what I said.
Greg Vaughn takes a fastball inside from Leiter, and what a story Greg Vaughn has been. Basically on baseball's scrap heap a year ago, but he's bounced back with 37 home runs. You saw the 89 RBIs, and he hits that one deep to left field, and one hops the wall. On his way to second is Vaughn, and he's got a 2-out double.
Well, Greg Vaughn was given out on by the Padres. They traded him to the Yankees. The Yankees found out that he was an injury-prone type guy and turned him back. And the Padres reaped the benefits of Vaughn this year.
They said that during the offseason he worked extremely hard with a personal trainer to get back in shape physically and mentally, and he came out of the chute in a hurry this year.
He is a cousin to Mo Vaughn, and he has hit more home runs in his major league career than Mo Vaughn.
Jim Leyritz now has really bounced around the last couple of years, hitting .340 in San Diego, and he takes ball 1 from Leiter. Remember, Leyritz is the guy who had perhaps the biggest hit of the 1996 World Series, and that's less than 2 full years ago. Yet since then he's played for the Angels, the Rangers, the Red Sox, and now the San Diego Padres. Vaughn measuring his lead, and a comebacker that Leiter handles. Side retired. So Leiter gives up a 2-run double, nothing more. Middle of the first at Shea. The Padres nothing. The Mets are coming up. 1.67 earned run average in his last 4 starts. Gets set to go to work. Hamilton 5-3 in his career against the Mets, although he did lose to New York earlier this season in San Diego. McCray takes ball 1 from Hamilton.
One thing about Hamilton, we'll see a fast game. He is the second fastest pitcher working on the mound in the National League. Only Greg Maddux has worked faster.
Yeah, the average time of a Joey Hamilton game, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Maddux is 11 minutes faster than that. And that's pulled over Joyner, a bad hop. McCray turns first on his way to second. Win up with the ball, plays it back in, and McCray has a leadoff double. Earlier in the year, Brian McCray never gets a hop like this, right?
He is hot. There's no doubt about that. In his last 42 games, he's hitting .308. And the base hit here to start it off last night, 2 for 4 with a home run.
So McCray in scoring position and Edgardo Alfonso the batter. Slider away, 1-0. One of Alfonso's greatest strengths is situations like this where he can hit the ball to the right side, move McCray over.
He's an ideal second place hitter.
He's outstanding at hitting the ball the other way, even the pitch outside off the plate.
Missed inside.
When he's hitting the ball well, he's taking that pitch inside and then getting the pitch out over the plate to hammer. Hit some big hits on the last road trip.
Varus, the second baseman, over towards the hole with the shortstop Gomez cheating a step towards the bag. Alfonso.
He does one thing. He takes a lot of 2-0 pitches.
But he goes after that one and hits it to the right side. So he does his job as McCray goes to third. One man away, and John Olerud coming up. Let's take a look at the San Diego Padres defensive alignment for tonight.
Thorne in left, Rivera in center, Gwynn in right. Layritz at third, Gomez at short, Varus at second, Joyner at first, and Hernandez doing the catching.
Big shoes to fill at third base. Ken Caminetti in the dugout. Jim Layritz, after 2 years playing third base.
And a breaking ball to John Olerud, 0-1. Olerud on an 11-game hitting streak and that .334 average, good for 4th in the National League.
Forward, he reminds you of Wally Joyner, even his demeanor.
Got a little more hair than Wally.
Well, Wally, I believe, shaved his head. But Olerud with 14 home runs.
Wally calls himself follically challenged. That's a 90s term for ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Olerud.
Wally Joyner is one of the top fielding first basemen in baseball history, and he's never won a Gold Glove. Tied for 8th in the all-time list of fielding, and 2 percentage points off being tied for first.
Fly ball, center field. That'll score a run. Ruben Rivera there. And McCray comes home with the first run of the ball game. Sacrifice fly. RBI number 59 for John Olerud. And the Mets are leading by a score of 1-0.
Well, very good execution by the Mets, especially Alfonso moving McCray to third base for the sac fly.
Olerud with runners in scoring position, one of the best in baseball, and he does the job of scoring the runner on the out.
So 2 away, and Mike Piazza's hitting 10 straight. And he takes a fastball, 1 ball, no strikes.
Ralph, you hit it on the nose before. Piazza batting over 300, supposedly having a bad year. Not having the home runs, although I'll tell you, he can hit 6 in a hearty. He could get a bunch of home runs.
Had 40 last year, batted .362. But amazingly, when you have years like that, if you don't do it again, they ask what's wrong.
He generated a lot of interest here in New York when the Mets needed it.
The Dodgers had a pitcher named Billy Lowe's who said he never wanted to win 20 games because they would expect you to do it again.
It's a nice picture right there. Piazza and Hundley.
A bouncer through the hole. And Piazza now has an 11-game hitting streak. And the other part of that picture, Todd Hundley's coming up. So Piazza aboard with 2 out. Ralph, what's your take on the Hundley situation with regard to the fact that I guess essentially he's finishing spring training right about now? You've got the rest of the league in literal mid-season form. How behind do you think Todd is?
I don't think he's behind at all and shouldn't be. The one thing I think is the problem is that he's trying too hard. He has to give himself a better chance, and right there a pitch that was close called a ball, and that helped him in his batting.
Piazza at first with 2 men out, and the 1-0 fouled away. Why would you not think that he'd be behind at all?
He's played enough games.
Even now, huh? 2.5,
18
weeks.
games. You know, you go back to World War II, when the players started coming back from the war. They were in the service. They got back and actually in a hurry.
Easy play in center for Ruben Rivera, and Hundley retired. But the Mets jump on top. Brian McRae double. John Olerud drove him home with a fly ball after Alfonso. Fox Sports New York is prohibited. You tell him he's follically challenged. One of the members of Wally Joyner's fan club. Perhaps. 0-1 to Joyner, who does have a fan club that go to the games in San Diego wearing, can't call them masks because they don't cover the face, but in effect they just slap, I don't know what you call it exactly, some kind of, it's not Velcro, but some kind of appendage to their skulls, which I guess they call it a bald pate, John McCone offers. A little bit of hair on each side. And he pulls it to the hole. Leiter's got to get over. And that's how he got into trouble in the first place. Olerud doesn't even make the throw. So it's an infield hit for Wally Joyner.
Ralph, when you take a look at Wally Joyner's career, when he was at the California Angels, he hit a lot of home runs. One year he hit 34 home runs. Another year 21 home runs. But every year it went down, down, down. What do you think? I mean, he still makes good contact. Here he picks up an infield hit. Olerud catches the ball and holds on to it.
Yeah, it should be the other way around when the home run totals go up. Usually you find out how to hit home runs after 4 or 5 years in majors. Get your good pitches to hit. He's having a good solid year. And I was amazed when California let him go.
Yeah. Ended up with the Kansas City Royals.
0-1 now to Ruben Rivera. Rivera got off to an outstanding start with the Padres. Has 10 hits in his last 44 at bats, though. Inside 1-1. He called Rivera up from Las Vegas in mid-May. James Mouton went on the disabled list. Rivera, of course, the kid they got from the Yankees as payment for the rights to Hideki Arabu. And Leiter comes inside, almost hit him. It's 2-1.
He is a terrific talent. Not only Rivera, but Leiter. But his temperament has gotten him into all kinds of problems in his early career.
See Olerud playing in front of the base runner, Wally Joyner, and again Leiter comes inside. Now it's 3-1. Another one of those guys who had the label 5 tools.
That label will get you in trouble. How many times have we seen guys with that 5-tool label and they're traded because they're not living up to their potential?
And Leiter now has walked Rivera. The Padres have runners at first and second, nobody out. So an infield hit by Joyner, a walk to Rivera. And now the bottom third of the Padres order. Catcher Carlos Hernandez is next. First walk issued tonight by Leiter. Former Padres infielder Tim Flannery.
One of the most popular players ever to put on a Padre uniform.
Singer, plays in a band. Carlos Hernandez, the catcher. 2 on, nobody out. Mets leading 1-0. Up the middle by Erga. And a double play. So Baerga took it himself, and now there are 2 men away. Moving to third is Joyner.
Well, this ball is hit right off the fist and not hit hard, but certainly in the right place. And there was a fake in the throw and a double play.
Have you ever seen a fake?
No.
Who was Carlos faking?
So the old quarterback keeper gets the Mets 2 outs, and now Chris Gomez is the batter. Gomez only 2 for 14 in his career against Al Leiter. Fastball, 0-1.
Because of his defense, the Padres call him Steady Eddie. He has done a good job defensively for the Padres.
I never heard of a guy called Steady Eddie whose name was Chris.
I know, and neither did I until tonight.
No balls, 2. That's about the weakest nickname I've ever heard.
What would you call? Let's give him a nickname.
Well, it's not part of the equation.
Go Gomez.
So Leiter a pitch away from getting out of mild trouble here in the second. And the 0-2 pitch. On the outside corner. Gomez doesn't think so. But Leiter got the ground ball when he needed it. And then strikes out Gomez looking. No runs to hit, 1 left. Middle of the second at Shea. 1-0 New York. That picture tells you just how overcast it is. Guess it depends on the sharpness and hue of your television set, but they had the tarp not on the field but rolled out to the foul lines just before the game began in anticipation of storms that we are told have riddled New Jersey. So maybe they'll miss Queens altogether. 1 ball, 1 strike to Carlos. Inside, 2-1. Ralph, were they chewing up sunflower seeds in your day the way they do now? What was the
No, not like they do now.
what was the nervous habit of choice back then?
Tobacco.
Fouled off, 2 balls, 2 strikes. I mean, you walk into a dugout now, if you ever should have the access even to a picture of a major league dugout after a ball game, and you would think that you were in a butcher's shop when they had the sawdust on the floor.
It's trash.
This is nothing. This is the second inning. 2-2 to Baerga, and he's gone. First strikeout for Joey Hamilton. So 1 out in the second inning.
Well, if anything has hurt Joey Hamilton this year, he's been inconsistent with his pitches as far as throwing good strikes. But here he throws a nasty pitch to Carlos Baerga. That ate him up.
Carlos having trouble with the ball inside ever since he's been with the Mets.
Well, Bernard Gilkey's having trouble with everything lately. Fouls the first pitch back, 0-1. It's almost at the point, don't you think, of being inexplicable. Now, Bernard Gilkey has gone from where he was 2 years ago, which was one of the best run producers and hitters in the entire league, to the struggling facsimile of that Gilkey this year as well as last.
I don't think there's an answer to it. He swings the ball well. He's aggressive. He's works hard. He's a good guy all the way around. Does everything he's supposed to do.
So if you had to break his swing down, you'd say nothing evident or nothing obviously wrong with it?
I would say the one thing he is not doing now is getting good pitches to hit. There's a good pitch to hit, and he hits the line drive that's caught. That's one of the reasons why.
That's a sign of a bad year.
Oh, he hit it right at Lawrence.
Gilkey has enough talent, and his bat speed is still very, very good. And I'm sure the Mets are concerned that, you know, if you trade him away, he might go out and do the job for another ball club. But here he takes a good swing. His bat hasn't slowed down at all. Hits that ball very hard, and Lawrence makes the grab.
Joey Hamilton just got a visit from Bruce Bochy, the manager and the trainer of the San Diego Padres. And There was nothing that appeared obvious about Hamilton showing any discomfort after delivering to Gilkey, and he shrugged them off and said, "Get back in the dugout." So 2 out, nobody on. Luis Lopez coming up now for New York. And our Aflac trivia question for tonight has to do with ex-Mets who have managed the Padres. By way of a hint, I'll tell you that one of them's got the job now. 0-1 to Luis Lopez. Into the Met dugout, 0-2.
You could have said one of them was born in Germany.
You got me on that one.
Bruce
Bochy. That's the same one. Okay, so we've still only given him one. We're in a magnanimous mood tonight. Letting him think about 3. Off the inside corner to Lopez.
It wasn't Jerry Coleman. There's Bruce right there. Jerry Coleman broadcast the Mets game, the Padre games, and then became the manager.
And Lopez down on strikes. So Joey Hamilton strikes out a pair in the inning, getting Lopez.
Of course, he's the newest Mets left fielder, and today he was a bit of an instructor. He was out at Cunningham Park, near St. John's University here in Queens, and he was part of a PAL demonstration. He was showing some of the young kids how to play the outfield. That's a bit of a switch. He has the new leather. And we had some fun with him before the game. Talked to him about that new piece of equipment that he lugs around with him. He's getting better out here, but he says he's got a ways to go.
It's turning shades of gold every day that goes by. I'm getting a lot more comfortable out there. I'm not the panic mode is gone, so to speak, and feels good. I'm starting to have more fun out there. I would love to start getting a few more base hits here and there. That's driving me nuts, but I just got to be relaxed with it. Hit the ball the other way, and you know, Ashby last night's a tough pitcher. He's always, you know, his record was 15-5, and he's a quality pitcher. So I just got to start hitting the ball the other way and not trying to hit it 9 miles.
Is it a Todd Hundley autograph outfielder stuff?
No, if they did that, I don't think a kid would buy this glove. This kid would look at the shelf and put it away and go to the Barry Bonds model in a heartbeat.
Well, in Todd Hundley's perfect world, he might not want to be out there, but you can't have a better attitude about it than he's exhibited. 2-2 to the pitcher, Joey Hamilton. And he's gone. Second strikeout for Leiter. 1 man away.
In the old days of baseball, before the gloves started to get good, a Joe Dokes model was the model that we all tried to use. It was the best glove made. And Joe Dokes was a spitball pitcher.
Gilvio Veras, the second baseman. Now, why would a spitball pitcher, at least theoretically, have the best glove around?
I really don't know the answer to that, except he might have been just the guy that said, I'd like to have a big glove that I can hide my fingers and spit on the ball. You know, spitball pitchers were allowed to spit in the ball at one time. So they would hold the glove in front of their face and spit on the ball. And sometimes they'd fake spitting on the ball and throw a pass ball.
Ralph, didn't they stop that pitch because it was unsanitary?
That's what they said.
That's a
Can you
disgusting
believe that?
Why didn't they just use Vaseline like Gaylord did?
Well, they didn't have that invented then. Saliva's been with us a long time.
The 1-1 to Veras. Pop foul.
When they put that rule into effect, all the pitchers that were throwing spitballs were allowed to continue until they went out of baseball. But the new ones coming up to the major leagues could not spit on the ball.
But the last one to do it legally was Burley Grimes.
He was one of those. I'm not sure he was the last.
Gilvio Veras caught looking. 3 straight strikeouts now for Al Leiter. 2 men away in the third. And let's finish out the Aflac trivia question having to do with ex-Mets as managers of the San Diego Padres. Current manager Bruce Bochy is 1. A couple of original Mets are in there as well. Don Zimmer and Roger Craig both were there in 1962 when the Mets broke into the National League. And Larry Bowa played briefly for them at the end of the 1985 season. Tony Gwynn played for Bowa. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gwynn. Grounded to short his first time up. That's hit well, left center field. Hundley on the run, but in one hops the wall. McCray plays the carom, and Tony Gwynn has a 2-out double. Third hit for the Padres off of Leiter.
Well, Gwynn is going to do something he hasn't done for a long, long time. He's going to hit under 300 for 2 consecutive months, June and July. He hadn't done that since 1992.
Well, boy, could he hit the ball where it's pitched. Here's the pitch out over the plate from our rooftop camera. Gwynn driving the ball into the gap in left center field.
No strike.
Boy,
amazing hitter.
He's a real student of hitting. It's great to sit with Tony Gwynn and have him talk hitting for a half hour.
He says he hasn't been finding the holes, but he finds more holes in his career than anybody except the donut makers.
Greg Vaughn, the batter, he doubled his first time up. And even with Leyritz on deck, who hits well against southpaws, the Mets will probably pitch very carefully to Greg Vaughn with first base open and 2 men out.
Vaughn with runners in scoring position is not doing well at all. .216 batting average.
Leiter challenged him. 1 ball, 1 strike.
42% of his runs batted in have come because of his own and solo home run. Amazing.
He struggled against left-hand pitching. He was 0 for his last 17 against southpaws. Still coming up with that double.
He has done something no other hitter has done. He drove in 100 runs in 1 season, playing in 2 different leagues to get to 100.
Checked his swing and fouled it off, and now it's 1-2. Milwaukee sent him to San Diego and looked like he was never going to adapt to the National League. Actually hoping the trade with the Yankees would come off. And then when it didn't, finished out the season in San Diego, turned it all around this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gwynn leads from second. Mets ahead 1-0. And 2-2 now to Vaughn.
Well, Leiter threw that fastball in and threw it hard by Vaughn. A lot of pitchers are nervous about throwing that ball up in that area because if you miss, that's the ball that the hitter can do some damage, especially a home run hitter. So we'll see if Leiter goes back and challenges Vaughn inside. Leiter likes to pitch in.
That's where he goes, but he missed. So now a full count with first base open.
You don't see too many left-handers who like to go inside on right-handed hitters.
I can think of one. Jerry Kuzma.
Kuzma's tough.
John Matlock.
That last pitch up and in on Greg Vaughn. The Shea Stadium showed us that replay.
And the payoff pitch missed with a slider. So Vaughn draws the walk after Leiter was ahead 1-2, and now he'll face Jim Leyritz with 2 on.
That's a good job of pitching, even though he walked him. He would not give in to him, and he will take on the lesser hitter and Leyritz.
Leyritz hit a weak comeback with a Leiter his first time up. Gwynn at second, Vaughn at first. Not much in the way of speed on the bases. Mets play Leyritz straight up, and he's hit by Leiter to load the bases.
He got hit, and Piazza got hit.
So that's the 8th batter that Leiter's hit this year. Piazza doesn't count. So now the bases will be loaded for Wally Joyner.
Everybody focused on Leyritz, but Piazza took it as badly as Leyritz did. Speaking of getting hit, one of the coaches, and I believe it was Davey Lopes, got hit with a line drive in the back during batting practice today. Here's that pitch. It hit a Piazza harder than it hit Leyritz. Leyritz has the protection on the arm. He's in pain. Oh.
Mike Piazza has taken more shots since coming to the Mets than any catcher I've seen.
I'll bet you that was Piazza going, ooh, not Leyritz.
Mike didn't play the carom properly.
I'm telling you, this guy got hit. I believe it was Davey Lopes, got hit with a bullet during batting practice in the back. He was hitting balls in the outfield, and he stepped behind a protective cage or screen and got hit right in the back with a line drive.
1-0 now to Wally Joyner with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Mets clinging to a 1-0 lead. We're in the third.
And the #1 guy in driving in runs with men in scoring position in the National League.
That's Gwynn at third, Vaughn at second, and Jim Leyritz, the runner at first. Joyner at 447 with runners in scoring position. And as he fouls that back, advantage Leiter, 1 and 2.
And Leiter's had the advantage over left-handers all year. Now look at that stat with the bases loaded. Joyner has been a clutch hitter. He's got his work cut out for him against Leiter.
The only good hitter with real bad numbers we've seen with the bases loaded was Sammy Sosa until the last 2 days.
He had never hit a grand slam home run until 2 days ago.
The 1-2 to Joyner. In the air and playable. Lopez wants it. And in foul territory, he makes the catch. So the Padres leave the bases loaded. Leiter got the first 2, but then a double.
Balls to the outfielders, and they had the protective screen between the pitcher's mound and second base. And for just a second, he walked to the right of the screen to hit a ball. And I'm telling you, he got hit. The hitter hit the ball as hard as anybody, hit him right in the back. And you know what? I couldn't believe he didn't go down. He kept hitting balls. I'd have milked that for 2 weeks.
38 consecutive stolen bases for Davey Lopes, at that time an all-time record.
1-0 to Al Leiter leading off the third.
Oh boy. You know who was unhappy about that ball being missed? Is the home plate umpire, Larry Concino, said, you know what? Do me a favor. Catch that darn thing. No.
There have been catches that have on purpose that have allowed balls to go on through to hit the umpire.
Well, I seen it in the minor leagues, and I remember teams would yell at the home plate umpire, our catcher's going to let it go through and hit you. I don't think I'd ever do that.
Well, Hernandez is up second in the 4th inning for the Padres.
No,
Do you think he'll get a call?
He didn't do it.
So 2-2 now to Leiter. Hernandez the latest in a line of catchers to go to the goaltending equipment. Hockey goalie mask. And Hamilton runs it full to the opposing pitcher.
Mike Piazza tried that mask after getting hit in the head down in Atlanta, but quickly discarded it.
Still full to Leiter.
Hernandez looks like a man from another planet with that stuff on.
There's Big Mike.
Not quite color coordinated. Dark jerseys, light mask. And the fastball missed. So Joey Hamilton walks Al Leiter to start the third. First walk issued by Hamilton. And back to the top of the Mets batting order, Brian McCray. And you walk the pitcher, and then the manager's got to get up and walk it off himself.
That is one of the big mistakes a pitcher could make, and Hamilton's problems have been with control.
Padres playing great baseball. Coming into tonight's action, 12-game lead over the Giants, who will be coming into Shea Stadium. Big series for the New York Mets. Big victory last night. And this guy hit a home run last night.
0-1 to McCray, and for each home run hit by the Mets this year, Fox Sports New York will make a contribution to Ronald McDonald Charities. McCray has certainly done more than his share lately.
Had home runs in 6 of his last 17 games.
Down the left field line. Thorne over towards the stands. And in foul territory, he's got room. That retires McCray. Leiter comes back to first. One away in the Mets third. Edgardo Alfonzo next.
Third baseman Edgardo Alfonzo.
Alfonzo grounded to first his first time up, but that doesn't really tell you the story. McCray had doubled leading off. Alfonzo got the count to 2-0, and then he hit the ball to the right side, getting McCray to third, and then Olerud drove him home with a sacrifice fly. So a productive out for Edgardo Alfonzo. A weak pop up to the right side, and Vera's back. 2 men away. So Leiter's still at first, and that'll bring up Olerud. We talk about Alfonzo in that situation, his first time up, going to the right side. How intentionally is that for a hitter? I mean, what
Should
can
be totally intentionally in circumstances that call for that. You got to be able to do that. Good players can do it all the time.
And you mentioned back then, Ralph, he's an ideal second hitter. I know for a while there in baseball, I thought that giving yourself up became an epidemic. Everybody wanted to give themselves up. There are certain guys, in my opinion, shouldn't give themselves up. A third and fourth hitter, maybe a fifth hitter, RBI guys, take a shot. You don't want a guy trying to manipulate his swing and changing from his strength and just grounding out weakly.
off the pitcher? Gomez just does recover in time. So the side retired, and after a leadoff walk, the opposing pitcher, Al Leiter, Joey Hamilton, escapes unscathed. No runs, no hit.
On hand, we're talking about how big this series is. Plenty of seats still available tomorrow. Right now, the Mets have a 1-0 lead here in the fourth inning. There's a line drive foul off the bat of Ruben Rivera.
Broke his bat.
It's amazing what the gamer means to a hitter, Ralph.
Well, you take it to bed with you most of the time.
Only if you're swinging a hot bat.
That's right. You get one that works.
If it's cold, you leave it at the ballpark.
Don't put your hands in my bat. One of the things that you find sometimes, pitchers who are notoriously bad hitters in most cases will grab your best bat, and then all war breaks out.
Oh. 0-1 on Rivera, batting .283, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs. 1 zip, the Mets on top of the Padres here in the fourth. Check swing. You break another one? I'll bet you Leiter leads the league in breaking opposing hitter bats.
Easy. He breaks more bats than anybody around. He reminds me of John Matlack. He used to break bats like crazy. And then he left-hander that pitches inside. Well, it gets you to do that. This ball is inside, and it's hit off the hands, and another broken bat.
This is a mismatch right now. 0-2 now on Rivera. The Mets and the Padres, second game of this 3-game series. The Mets trailing the Braves in the Eastern Division. The Padres leading the pack in the West. Up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
At one time, way back when, they used bats from hickory trees, and they did not break. But the problem was you couldn't pick them up. They were so heavy.
Up high. 2-2. Talking to Lance Johnson, we were in Chicago. He uses a 42-ounce bat or a 45-ounce bat in batting practice. Most of the players today use bats, I guess, around 32 ounces.
Maybe
30,
less.
yeah,
30,
31 ounces. Swung down and missed. 1 down.
Of course, the bats today are made out of white ash. He might break this bat, and that would be 3. He's notorious for breaking bats in the dugout.
He looks mad.
He's looking around to see if anybody's watching.
Carlos Hernandez, the batter. Just took strike one. Hernandez in his first at bat into a double play. 0-2 on Hernandez. Leiter's got good stuff again tonight. He has consistently had dominating stuff this year.
Second best ERA in the National League.
Inside 1-2, and it must be an uncomfortable at bat for a hitter to face Al Leiter.
Throws a very heavy ball. Hasn't got that many pitches.
No, he just.
I think he's got a twitch.
And the 1-2 pitch to Hernandez. He got severely jammed. Line drive to Lopez. 2 down. So with 2 men out, the batter will be the shortstop, Chris Gomez. Gomez batting .243. In this ball game, he struck out against Al Leiter in the second inning. Inside, ball 1. We talk about how uncomfortable the at bat is against Al Leiter. You know, you get Greg Maddux. When you face Greg Maddux, it's a very comfortable at bat, even though you're 0 for 5. You're comfortable. But Al Leiter, it's a battle. (2-0) on Gomez. Ground ball up the middle. Whoa, what a play, Lopez. Got him. Outstanding play by Luis Lopez. Leiter enjoys it. Do the Padres because they had him in the organization. Well, 3 up, 3 down here in the 4th inning. We play 3.5, and it's 1-zip. Mets, what a play. And then the Giants come in. You can catch all the action on Fox Sports New York tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. That's our Delta Airlines schedule. Mike Piazza like to hit a Delta Airline with a ball right now. He can hit those long home runs. You know, Ralph, you mentioned the Grand Slam to Sammy Sosa 2 and 2 nights. I believe Piazza did that this year, didn't he?
Yes,
There's a long drive, deep center field, and that is gone. Oh, he crushed that ball. For Piazza, home run numbers 17.
Piazza with 3 Grand Slam home runs in the month of April to set a record. That was when he was with the Dodgers. And right now, Piazza with a tremendous home run to center field. He's at his best when he hits the ball straight away.
And Todd Hundley just fouled it off. It's 0-2 on Hundley.
He knows that's gone.
Jeez.
Cameraman was in trouble.
Todd Hundley pops it up. In the infield, Layrich calling for it. And makes the grab. 1 down. Mike Piazza just crushed his 17th home run of the year.
And another look from our chase cam. Piazza takes it out over the center field wall. Sky high and goodbye.
Charlie Leno, the cameraman, had all he can do to hold his position. Incoming.
And Carlos Baerga takes a ball. So it's 1-0 on Baerga. 1 man out. Bottom of the 4th. 2-zip Mets.
.40 home runs last year.
Baerga slaps it foul down left field line. 1-1. Baerga with 5 home runs this year and 44 RBIs to go along with that 274 batting average. And he fouls it back, so it's 1-2 on Baerga. And the 1-2 pitch is pulled foul. So we'll do it again at 1-2. Padres, the Dodgers, and the Giants all in this homestand, and Mike Piazza would really like to have those long home runs going in bunches. And his former mates, the LA Dodgers, come to town. On Al Leiter, he was talking home run ball with Mike Piazza. Ground ball. Ferris, nice play, but he got him. Wow, what a play by Kilby O'Barris. I thought Baerga beat the throw.
Well, you can tell him not to do it, but this is a dangerous thing to do when you slide into first base. He was out. And a great play by Kilby O'Barris.
So they get Baerga, 2 men are gone, and Bernard Gilkey fouls the first pitch back off of Joey Hamilton.
Barris has to throw across his body here, and he one-hops the first baseman Wally Joyner. And they've said forever that you won't save any time diving headfirst into first base as opposed to going in standing up, and you also run the risk of injury. That was about as close a play at first base as the one that Lopez made on Chris Gomez to win the San Diego fourth.
Gilkey picks up a base hit into center field with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the fourth.
That's poetic justice, too, because Gilkey's first time up, he hit the ball very hard, but right at the third baseman, Jim Leyritz. This time he's got a base hit to show for it. So he's hit it hard twice against a pitcher that he's had virtually no success against coming in. Gilkey only 5 for 30 before tonight against Joey Hamilton.
So 2 men are gone. The batter now, Luis Lopez, with Gilkey on first, and he was leaning towards second, but they check him. Lopez struck out his first time up. I know we talked about it before, Ralph, when Ordonez goes down. What's surprising to me is the Mets can put a shortstop on the field, and you don't lose that much defensively.
And you're talking about the best defensive shortstop in baseball, Ordonez. But Lopez is right there. He is outstanding. I think, and it's not much of a difference, that Lopez goes to his left better than Ordonez.
Lopez playing short tonight. Ordonez still nursing the pulled muscle. Gilkey lead off first, and the ball's fouled back. So it's 0-2 on Lopez. Likes those road games, batting .359.
Must be the meal money.
No balls, 2 strikes. Gilkey leading off first base. 2 men are gone. They check Gilkey. Watching all the action tonight on Fox Sports New York. Ralph Kiner, Howie Rose, Pat Lockman. Second game of this 3-game series, the Mets and Padres. Inside. 1-2.
They had, I was going to say, Brian, they had a pickoff play on it first, but Hernandez lost the ball.
Trying to get rid of it too quickly. He was going to go behind Lopez. Lopez flinched when Hernandez started to throw. 1-2 on Lopez. But the best I've seen at throwing the ball to bases for pickoff motions or pickoff moves as a catcher, Thurman Munson, especially to third base. He was as quick as anybody. Not only do you have to be quick. You have to have a lot of confidence in throwing the ball to the bases. 1-2 pitch. Lopez takes outside. 2-2.
And Munson used to throw sidearm.
Yeah, when he was in the major leagues, I guess he had hurt his arm. And he had more ball movement on his throws to second base than the pitcher had.
Most sinker ball pitcher. Ball would go down there in a big curving arc, hitting away from the shortstop.
Gilkey with the lead. They check him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Luis Lopez, the batter. Pitcher, Joey Hamilton. Coming into tonight's action, 9-9 on the season. Bernard Gilkey on first. Lopez, the batter. Fouled off. So we'll do it again at 2-2.
Oh, Gilkey with a fake break on that pitch. He doesn't figure to be running here at all, because if he gets thrown out, it will end the inning, but you can't tell in today's baseball. And Gilkey is not really a stolen base man. He has 5 out of 6. But Hernandez coming out to throw on that pitch was outside.
And a 2-2 pitch inside, ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And he will be running now.
Leiter on deck. And a 3-2 pitch, and it gets by Hernandez. Oh, Gilkey had a shot at going to third. Just assumed he would take a true hop off that backstop, but the ball hit and stayed there. But the Mets have runners on first and second now with 2 out, and the batter Al Leiter.
Well, the ball is a wild pitch. Gilkey might not have seen the ball get away. He had a good shot at going from first to third on the walk.
So Gilkey's on second, Luis Lopez on first. Hernandez out talking to Hamilton.
Carlos Hernandez, the catcher, the second man from Venezuela to play in the major leagues as a catcher. The first was Bo Diaz, and now there have been 3 with Eddie Perez of the Atlanta Braves.
Al Leiter, the batter, walked his first time up. Now he's got a couple key hits this year. He takes a strike. 0-1 on Leiter. It's funny talking to him about how he pitches hitters. Does he take anybody lightly in the National League? He said, "Are you kidding?" He said, "I got a couple hits." He said, "I'm terrible."
Well, he has driven in 4 runs this year.
1-1.
Helping his cause.
Yeah. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Leiter. 2 men are gone. Up high. 2-1. Here's Bochy, the manager of the San Diego Padres, looking on. He's done a nice job since taking over as the manager after Jim Riegelman left for Chicago. Swung on and missed. 2-2.
Whenever Bochy was traded, he had to take his helmet with him.
Custom made.
Had to be redone. He had the biggest size helmet of anybody in baseball.
Swung on and missed. Leiter goes down on strikes. Mets strand 2, but they pick up a. Well, the crowd here at Shea Stadium for the second game of this 3-game series. The Mets 2, the Padres zip. 4 hits for the Mets, 3 for the Padres. Joey Hamilton leads it off for San Diego, and he takes inside. Strike 1. So 0-1 on the Padre pitcher.
Well, this guy was 0 for his first 57 at-bats in the major leagues until he doubled off of Pete Harnish, who was then with the Mets a few years ago.
Down low. He's batting 167 right now, so he's happy about that average.
He's improved.
Did you see where Pete had to leave a game last night because of a tricep injury? Second start since signing a contract extension.
Swung on and missed. 1-2.
The 0 for 57 in his first 57 at bats was the worst start of anybody in the history of the game. one time Bob Buell went 0 for the season. He was 0 for 70 for a season, but not from the start of a career.
Well, 22 on Hamilton.
Ron Herbel went 0 for 55 from the start of his career, and Herbel, the worst hitting pitcher average-wise in Major League Ball.
Hamilton just struck out. 1 down.
That was the kind of swing that makes you go 0 for 57. So 1 out, nobody on here in the 5th inning. And coming your way tomorrow, the Mets back in action again as they continue their series and conclude it with the San Diego Padres. 7:30 on Fox Sports New York. And then on Friday night, Mike Piazza against his former Dodger teammates. That's the first of a 4-game series. It's all coming up live this week on Fox Sports New York. Please check your local listing.
Kelvio Veras will be watching tomorrow night. It's 0. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
You just buried Veras.
No. He
He
likes.
just said he's not going to be. He's going to be in a hotel watching on TV.
No. He'll be
He's
here.
not playing. That's a scoop.
Veras takes down low. 2-0.
Al Leiter has to be one of the toughest pitchers to catch in baseball.
Yeah, you mentioned that heavy fastball. He's got a lot of ball movement. Sometimes inconsistent with his control.
A lot of pitches in the dirt.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's a nasty slider right there.
He has that good slider. It's a lot like Carlton's slider. Steve Carlton in the Hall of Fame. He now talks to everybody.
Is that right? Fouled off. I had an opportunity to interview Steve when he got in the Hall of Fame. He was very intelligent man.
Very loquacious.
Was he up there this weekend?
Yes, he was. And he is affable. Will talk with all the reporters, everything. And at one time, he refused to talk to all the news media.
Ground ball foul. I guess somebody wrote something in Philadelphia that upset Carlton, and he shut everybody out, not just that writer. 2-2 now on Veras.
Well, there were a number of prominent players, I guess, Ralph, who were not at the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies this weekend. Is there any movement afoot by the rest of the Hall of Famers to put pressure on them to come up for one weekend a year?
There is constant movement and constant pressure put on, and of course I don't understand why they don't come. DiMaggio seldom comes, Mays seldom comes, Aaron seldom comes.
I heard Yastrzemski wasn't there this weekend.
He was not there.
Bench wasn't there. Isn't he usually there?
Bench normally would be.
2-2 on Kelvio Veras. 1 man out, top of the 5th inning. Mets 2, Padres 0. Popped up, playable. Piazza makes the grab. 2 down.
They did have a wonderful turnout, other than those that I mentioned. Jackson wasn't there.
Reggie Jackson missed it.
Like Piazza's got to watch out for a loose bat.
Who's?
I don't know. That's,
That's
on the on-deck
heavy
story.
bat, yeah. Weighted bat. It's really the job of the bat boy to get those bats out of the way.
Well, the batter now, Tony Gwynn, he's 1 for 2. He's doubled in this game. He takes a breaking ball for a strike. I know in San Diego last night, Tony Gwynn was talking about how Leiter has changed and he will bust left-handers in now. They were very impressed with Leiter out there in San Diego. That was quite a matchup, Al Leiter and Kevin Brown. Foul ball.
Leiter, the losing pitcher in a 2-1 game out there. Lifetime record is 2-1 against the Padres. Started his career with the Yankees. But he is a great pitcher right now.
0-2 on Gwynn. He takes outside. 1-2. Yeah, the evolution is to the point now where Leiter is highly respected. I believe his stuff was always respected for every pitch, but now he's a winning pitcher with that stuff.
And it's mainly because he can get the pitch over the plate where he wants the ball.
1-2 pitch. Foul back as Gwynn hangs tough.
And Gwynn is notorious for fouling out tough pitches. And there's a real good example of a very tough fastball that he just fouls away. This guy's bat control is amazing. His highest average in 1 year was .393, the highest batting average in the National League since 1930.
And he crushes that ball. Looks like Gwynn has another double. He's got 2 doubles against one of the toughest pitchers in the game. That guy can hammer.
His lifetime batting average against Greg Maddux, and this is over a period of a long time, is .434. Maddux, of course, the best pitcher in baseball. This is the swing. Classic swing, no stride. The extension is perfect. The only knock in him is he doesn't drive in a lot of runs.
Last year he had his best year.
Over 100.
So Tony Gwynn hitting his second double.
.393 1 year. The highest average since Bill Terry in 1930.
As Greg Vaughn takes inside, ball 1.
Remember last time Vaughn was up, same situation. 2 men were out. Tony Gwynn had doubled. Leiter got ahead of Vaughn 1 and 2, but did not give in to him. Eventually walked him. And Leyritz was hit by a pitch, but got Joyner to pop up and end the inning.
Vaughn 1 for 1, doubled and walked in his game. Takes inside, 2-0. Talking about Tony Gwynn, last season he batted .372. He hit 17 home runs and drove in 119 RBIs. The first time he went over the century mark in RBIs. And a 2-0 pitch to Vaughn. Swung at and missed. 2-1.
Mets defensively against Greg Vaughn pull the shortstop Luis Lopez around to the hole. Alfonso just a couple of steps off the line. And you see Baerga, the second baseman, pretty close to the second base bag.
Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike on Greg Vaughn.
When you see a batter like they have Vaughn to pull, the hitter should be really thinking that they're trying to pitch him inside.
Gwynn with the leadoff second base. Swung on and missed. 3-2.
Well, that was a perfect pitch right there.
Inside. You know, it's funny, Ralph, you mentioned how you figure they're going to play in the post. Sometimes they're playing a guy to pull and the pitcher throws him away, but here Leiter goes back in.
Really tied him up.
He beat him with that pitch. Full count on Greg Vaughn. Jim Leyritz on deck. Vaughn gets a pitch that's out of the strike zone. He chased it and popped it foul and out of play.
And that pitch you really can't hit with the speed of the pitch being in the high 90s.
Gwynn leads off second base. Leiter against Vaughn. And Leiter wins. He strikes out Greg Vaughn for the first time tonight. Vaughn struck out 3 times last night. So the Padres strand Gwynn on second base. They fail to score. We play 4.5 and it's 2-zip Mets.
No matter how high the thermometer climbs or how sticky the humidity gets, nothing will be hotter this summer than the deals you'll get during Jeep Summer Days. Like a 0 down, $319 a month Grand Cherokee Laredo lease with only $814 due at signing. Or during summer days, take advantage of low 1.9% financing. But you'd better hurry in because deals this incredibly hot are bound to cool down fast. Check out this 319 lease at your dealer.
The New York Lotto jackpot is now $40 million.
Cool.
Sizzler presents Invasion of the Giant Crabs. They're huge, a full pound. But they have one weakness. The Giant Crab Feast, just $8.99. Now appearing at Sizzler.
Two to nothing New York through 4.5. Here's our Jeep game summary. John Olerud starting it off with a sac fly after a leadoff double by McCray, and then Piazza homered. Meantime, Tony Gwynn's had a couple of hits, but Al Leiter has been able to keep the Padres off the board so far.
So Brian McCray steps in to face Joey Hamilton. And he takes a strike. Leyritz moves in on the grass for McCray. McCray takes inside, 1-1. McCray will be followed by Alfonso and then the quiet man, John Olerud. McCray loops the ball into left field, base hit. Ball dropping in front of Vaughn, so McCray
Third baseman
has his second hit of the game.
Well, Leiter with 6 strikeouts, and the last one a big one, getting one. And it's catching Piazza celebrate.
Pitchers only hug you when you get in home runs.
Leiter is really a animated man. He's a great guy in the club.
So Edgardo Alfonso, the batter, with Brian McCray on first base, and Alfonso takes a strike. Alfonso in this ball game grounded out and popped up.
Ground out a big play, though. It came with a runner at second and moved into third base, where he scored on the sac fly by Olerud.
Alfonso hits a ground ball to short. They go to second for one, over to first. 6-4-3 double play.
McCray sliding through the legs of Barris, the second baseman.
First baseman John Olerud.
His dad must have taught him that.
No, his dad took the legs with him.
What's this? Right through the legs. The intent was to kill him.
You know what? His father would have gotten him. His father's a nice guy.
So what you're saying is McCray didn't do the job.
No, he didn't get it. His father would have taken that leg out to left field. His father was one of the dirtiest sliders I've ever seen, but I have said this to him over the years, and he's a very nice guy. Now, Brian's not a dirty slider. That was a clean slide.
That was a little late.
Well, that's what they say makes it a hard slide. So you didn't have to be a hard slider with all those home runs you hit. Down low to Olerud, but he's unable to check his swing, so it's 2-1. Frank Robinson, one of the hardest sliders ever to play the game. He taught sliding to a lot of players. He said the way to slide hard is to slide late.
That was quite late.
Yes. Outside, 3-1 on John Olerud. Davey Lopes. Oh, I'm telling you, we don't have any video of it, but he got hit. I can't believe he's out here. There's a drive and a gap, right center field. Olerud on his way to second base, and he'll hang on with a double.
That's 12-game hitting streak now for John Olerud.
20th double. He's had 4 3-base hits and 14 home runs. Right here, John continues his consistent hitting, having an outstanding year. Center fielder Rivera slips out there on the wet grass. He's got a great arm and had a slight chance to make a play at second.
So Olerud on second base, and the batter, and they're going to walk him. They're going to walk Piazza to get to the left-handed swinging Todd Hundley.
Well, obviously San Diego doesn't think Hundley is back. This is unusual. The pitch to Hundley as a left-hand batter. He is much better as a left-hand batter. Now would be the perfect time for Hundley to break out and get his first home run of the year.
Well, he was talking about it on a pregame show, and he said that he was going to try to hit the ball the other way. I think this is going to get his juices going. He's going to try to hit the ball over the wall. So Piazza walks. The Mets have runners on first and second with 2 men out. Dave Stewart going to the mound. Mike Piazza now has 10 intentional walks.
What do you think Dave Stewart could tell him at this point?
Throw it and duck.
Get it over, but don't walk him?
Yeah, he's going to just relax him. There's not much you can do in the course of the game as far as technique is concerned.
None.
Dave Stewart probably told him just challenge him.
Stewart had a very slow start in his career as a great pitcher, and then came on in the latter part of his career as one of the best.
He was hired in San Diego as an assistant to the general manager. He was made the pitching coach, and now his pitcher, Joey Hamilton, will take on Todd Hundley with runners on first and second. He runs the fastball off the plate outside. Ralph, they never walked anybody to get to you, I'm sure. Inside.
This is ideal now because Hundley can look for a pitch. He's been overactive since coming back, but now he's got to calm down and say, I want one pitch where I can hit it out of the ballpark. If I don't get that pitch, I'll take it.
He pulls it to the right side base, hit in the right field. Here comes Olerud. Quinn's throwing to third, and Hundley picks up an RBI, but Piazza slides off third base in his tag. But the Mets pick up another run here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hundley with an RBI single to right field after the Padres walked Mike Piazza intentionally. We play 5 here at Shea, and it's 3-zip New York.
Hey, Spearman!
Well, back here at Shea Stadium, Mets 3, Padres zip. Big hit by Todd Hundley.
2-0 pitch. He gets a fastball, throws it between the first baseman and second baseman, scores the run, and then Piazza throwing out on a perfect throw by Tony Gwynn after starting off the bag and being tagged out by Leverage. Jim Larritz will lead it off here for the Padres.
And the Mets have that 3-0 lead. Here's Piazza sliding off third base and talking about sliding back in with the play-by-play. Howie Rose.
All right, Fran, the Mets now with a 3-0 lead, and that's enough for Bobby Valentine to feel comfortable to make a defensive change. Lenny Harris replaces Todd Hundley in left field. So Todd had his 3 plate appearances, went 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Jim Leyritz goes after the first pitch and lines it the other way. Gilkey can't come up with it cleanly. Leyritz on his way to second, and the Padres have the leadoff man in scoring position. Leyritz did not look especially inclined to go to second base until he saw Gilkey bobble the ball. So we'll see if it's a double or 1-1.
It was a tough play for Gilkey. The ball hit hard. He didn't really catch up to it. Should be a two-base hit, and is.
So that'll bring up Wally Joyner, who singled and fouled out. Gilkey also playing a relatively new position for him. Left fielder most of his career. He's also played some center. And now Leiter deals to Joyner, who hits it deep to right field. Gilkey back to the wall. Gone. A 2-run homer for Wally Joyner. And now it's a 3-2 Mets lead. For Joyner, his 10th home run of the year. He hit one last night. And he now has 65 RBIs.
Center fielder Ruben Rivera.
That's only the 3rd home run allowed by Al Leiter this year. Al's now pitched about 120 innings. And suddenly a 3-0 lead is an uncomfortable 1-run game. Inside to Ruben Rivera, 1-0.
Well, Joyner jumps all over this first pitch, fastball.
Rivera gets tied up, 1-1.
We were talking about Joyner one year hitting 34 home runs at the California Angels, and what a nice sweet swing, man. Just get the head of the bat out there and hit the ball over the right field wall. We talked how tough Leiter has been on left-handers and right-handers, and how few home runs he gives up.
Missed inside to Rivera, 2 balls and a strike.
Joyner with his 1,000th career RBI in last night's game.
It's sliced foul, 2-2. Padres now with 6 hits, the Mets with 7. Rivera with none so far tonight. Steve Finley not in the lineup for San Diego. He's their regular center fielder, but he's only hit a .177 against left-hand pitchers. And again, Caminetti out because of the cold ribcage muscle. And Rivera down on strikes. That's 7 strikeouts now for Al Leiter. 1 gone in the San Diego 6th.
Catcher Carlos Hernandez.
So a good comeback by Leiter to strike out Rivera after giving up the home run to Wally Joyner. Carlos Hernandez grounded into a double play, lined out to short. And a bouncer foul. Padres a hot club, even with that loss to the Mets last night. They've won 10 of their last 13. And they are the runaway leaders of the National League West. Bruce Bochy's club 12 games ahead of the Giants. And the Mets in a fight with, among other teams, the Giants for a wild card spot, getting some help tonight in Montreal. The Expos are leading the Giants 6-0. Joey Hamilton and the Padres are run behind here. 2 balls and a strike now on Carlos Hernandez.
Montreal doing a job in the Giants, leading 6-0.
Phillies leading the Dodgers 5-1 in the 6th. That's hit hard but foul. The Cubs play tonight in Arizona, where the Diamondbacks beat the Cubs last night. Although Sammy Sosa did his 2nd grand slam in as many games. First 2 grand slams of Sammy's career. 2-2 pitch, again pulled foul. Leiter, as we've talked about all year, never mind all night, loves to pitch inside to right-hand batters, and that means that Bobby Valentine will usually have Edgardo Alfonzo, the third baseman, just a couple of steps off the line at third. That's where he's been most of the night against the right-hand hitters. Lopez to his left again. 2 men away. 2 out, nobody on. Chris Gomez coming up. Make sure to stay tuned after our telecast of the Mets and Padres for Fox Sports News. Get all the breaking stories in sports and all the scores and highlights you need right here on Fox Sports New York, following New York Mets baseball. We're in the top of the 6th inning here at Shea Stadium. 3-2 New York. Chris Gomez, nothing for 2 tonight. Takes ball 1. That's pop foul outside third, and there's room for Alfonso. Side retired. So the Padres are done in the 6th. Wally Joyner with a 2-run home run gets San Diego on the board. But at the end of 5.5, Mets still in front, 3-2 New York.
No matter how high the thermometer climbs or how sticky the humidity gets, nothing will be hotter this summer than the deals you'll get during Jeep summer days. Like a 0 down, $319 a month Grand Cherokee Laredo lease with only $814 due at signing. Or during summer days, take advantage of low 1.9% financing. But you'd better hurry in because deals this incredibly hot are bound to cool down fast. Check out this $319 lease at your dealer.
They say the game these days is all about money. Well, not for the beer man. For the beer man, it's still about passion. When I crack open a cold Coors Light, I give 110%, just like those guys in the Rockies. And when a fan shouts, "Hey, beer man," that frost brew refreshment is delivered like an inside fastball. No, it's not about money. It's about exercise. I gotta drop some pounds. Coors Light! Get your Coors Light here!
Trying to get your employees to be more efficient? Maybe what they need is more efficient equipment. MCS Cannon, keeping people in business in business.
International Week continues with Jewish Night on Tuesday, August 4th. Show up at Shea early for a pregame concert by David Dudu Fisher. The first 25,000 fans will receive a pin commemorating Israel's 50th Jubilee. Be here when the Mets take on the San Francisco Giants as the race for the wild card heats up. Tickets call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
Going to the last of the 6th inning, which means the Coors Light Silver Bullet 6th. Heriberto Montalluo from New York is today's lucky fan. So if the Mets hit a home run this inning, Heriberto wins dinner for 2 at a participating Turtle Bay Grill and Lounge. Baerga, Gilkey, and Lopez try and make him a winner. What you can't see there is the construction. It's going to start pretty soon, leading up to that Whitestone Bridge, which totally fouls up traffic leaving here. And Baerga hits it well to right center, chasing Rivera back to the warning track, and he can't hold on. Baerga digging for second, and he'll hold on there. Outstanding effort by Ruben Rivera, but a leadoff double for Carlos Baerga. Well, Rivera did what he could.
Ball is out of way, and Baerga gets his 21st 2-base hit. Rivera, good try, but off his glove. And the Mets now in a position to come up with an insurance run.
Bernard Gilkey, the batter, he goes up the middle. Gomez, the shortstop, throws him out. And that moves Baerga to third. So now the Padres will probably be forced to pull their infield in here in the 6th inning, trailing by a run. And Luis Lopez, who handles the bat pretty well, will be the hitter.
And the question here is whether or not they'll pitch to him with the pitcher coming up. The infield is being brought in for a play at the plate.
Got to watch, of course, for the possibility of a squeeze here.
Lopez, a good runner.
Hamilton thinking along, thought he'd catch Baerga moving. See, Leyritz on the grass, and Lopez drives it through the middle. Baerga scores an RBI single for Luis Lopez, and the Mets are leading 4-2. RBI number 11 on the year for Luis Lopez. So again, a productive out by Gilkey, which moved Baerga to third, forced the infield up. And Lopez took advantage, and the Mets have a 2-run lead.
This is called little ball, and a good job by Lopez to get the bat in the ball, hit it up the middle, infield in.
And now Leiter drops the sacrifice bunt down. Hamilton throws him out. Second baseman Vargas covered. And Lopez in scoring position with 2 outs. So Leiter congratulated by Mookie Wilson. I think about it, Mookie a leadoff hitter, great speed, never a real good bunter.
But he could foul the ball off.
What was his slogan? Thou shalt not pass.
A Bible hitter.
So Leiter gets Lopez to second for one of the hottest hitters that the Mets have, for Brian McCray, who's got 2 hits tonight. And he drives the ball deep right field. Win on the run, and it's off the wall. Lopez scored. McCray on his way to second. He has a double. 5-2 New York. So that neutralizes the home run by Joyner. The Mets have their 3-run lead back, and Bruce Bochy is going to make a change.
And the Mets playing the kind of baseball you have to play in this game tonight to win. Moving runners up, 2 out base hits, and McCray continues his hot hand.
So Brian McCray now 3 hits on the night. And Bruce Bochy will go to his bullpen. Joey Hamilton leaves for an underpoint call to the pen.
Hello?
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Shea Joseph.
Really? My place is always booked.
Well, Shea's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get $179 Ericsson 388, the latest in digital wireless, for $49.
No matter how high the thermometer climbs or how sticky the humidity gets, nothing will be hotter this summer than the deals you'll get during Jeep summer days. Like a 0-down, $319 a month Grand Cherokee Laredo lease with only $814 due at signing. Or during summer days, take advantage of low 1.9% financing. But you'd better hurry in, because deals this incredibly hot are bound to cool down fast. Check out this $319 lease at your dealer.
All right, bring it in here, guys. Huddle up. Now listen up, fellas. We got a full house out there. They can't get to the Rockies, so let's bring the Rockies to them. Right? We got the coldest beer around. With Rust Brewed Coors Light and entrees, there's no reason we shouldn't have a great day. Now what do they want? Coors Light. What do we got? Coors Light. What? Coors Light. I can't hear you. Coors Light. Get ready.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Discover Card. It pays to discover. Accept it where you see the Novus sign. The Mets have their 3-run lead back. And Joey Hamilton under Half Moon Bay leaves with the Mets leading 5-2. Part of a double switch employed by Bruce Bochy, as Andy Sheets will come into the game and play shortstop. Sheets will bat in the 9th position. That was occupied by Hamilton, of course. And the new pitcher, his second go-around, is the San Diego Padres, Scott Sanders. Started the season with Detroit. was really hit hard there. 19 hits allowed in 9 2/3 innings. Runner goes. McCray trying to steal third, and he does easily. A 2-out steal of third by Brian McCray.
Well, Bobby Valentine, a very aggressive manager, allowing Brian McCray to run on his own, I'm sure, and McCray getting a huge jump off second base. And you got to make it. He made it.
You absolutely, positively have to make it.
Breaking ball missed to Alfonso. 2-0.
Bobby Valentine has shown since taking over the reins here in New York for the Mets, he's a very aggressive manager. When given the opportunity, he'll put runners in motion.
3 balls, no strikes to Alfonso, with John Olerud on deck. Joey Hamilton went 5 2/3, gave up 10 hits, and so far 5 runs, although McCray is his responsibility, while Olerud waits. 3-1 now to Alfonso.
Well, you got to get the Padres early. You either got to get their starting pitching, which has been good, or their middle relievers. Hoffman has been unbelievable coming out of the bullpen. He blew his first save the other day.
A walk to Alfonso. With 2 out, Olerud will hit with runners at the corners.
First baseman John Olerud,
pitching coach with the San Diego Padres.
One problem the Padres have is that they do not have a left-hander in the bullpen. Kevin Towers, general manager, really doesn't expect to make a trade for a left-hander out there. You laugh as though you don't think that's important.
Well, you know, you got Trevor Hoffman coming out of the bullpen. You don't need a left-hander. Now, as a middle reliever, to get one left-handed batter out, a point well taken, Mr. Rose.
And a line drive, base hit for Olerud. McCray scores. Alfonso to second. 6-2 New York. Second hit, second run batted in tonight for John Olerud, who now has 60 ribbies. And the Mets have 3 runs in the inning after the Padres had crept to within 1. Of course, in fairness, John Olerud hits left-handers pretty well too.
Better than right. Right here, you see that classic swing.
Very similar to Wally Joyner at the first base with the Padres. They both have that nice fluid stroke.
So now it's Piazza with 2 on and 2 out. And that's on the outside corner, 0-1.
And keep in mind, Piazza, being a catcher and a home run hitter, will hit home runs in bunches. He'll be more of a streak home run hitter. Boy, he clobbered his home run tonight.
Center field and way over the wall. He was walked intentionally to get to Todd Hundley, and Hundley came through with a big base hit after the intentional pass.
Alfonso at second, Olerud at first. 2 slow runners aboard. And the breaking ball off the end of the bat. So Piazza grounds out, the side retired, but the Mets sent 8 men to the plate and scored 3. Thanks to Ralph, 6 in the books at 6-2 New York.
Insuring over 40 million people worldwide.
Hello?
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Shea Joseph.
Really? My place is always booked.
Well, Shea's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get $179 Ericsson 388, the latest in digital wireless, for $49.
And world peace.
Could you please create a vast sports information source that's fast and fresh and loaded with attitude, where I could go for the latest sports dirt virtually any time, day or night? Oh. And could it be free?
Now, Fox Sports and Fox Sports New York bring you worldwide sports coverage plus your favorite home teams, and it's all free. Get your sports from a higher source. Fox Sports Online.
Thank you.
Sosa, Jr., McGuire.
Are you kidding me?
The run for 61. We are there. From every angle. Fox Sports News Primetime. Weeknights at 10. Check local listing.
It's time for the Sprint PCS Strikeout the Side inning. So if the Mets strike out the side, Janice Gordon of New York wins a Sprint PCS phone and 2 Sprint PCS $50 prepaid wireless calling cards. So as we head to the 7th inning with New York leading 6-2, Bobby Valentine has decided to flip-flop his corner outfielders, getting Gilkey back into his more comfortable left field position. He had started the game in right. Lenny Harris, who had replaced Hundley in left in the last inning, goes to right field. Andy Sheets laces the first pitch to center. So Sheets, who had come on as part of the double switch when Scott Sanders took over the pitching, goes after the first pitch from Al Leiter here in the 7th. Leiter approaching the 100 pitch mark. Andy Sheets just hit delivery number 98 from Leiter into the outfield.
And we've seen when Al Leiter was mowing him down, Bobby Valentine would take him out because of his pitch count. But Leiter is so used to throwing a lot of pitches. He's a guy who works deep into the count. He's a strikeout pitcher, so he's going to throw more pitches. And at times he's been inconsistent in throwing strikes. There's Mel Rojas throwing into the Met bullpen.
And Mel's working his way back into the confidence of Bob Apodaca and Bobby Valentine. Bobby checking the lineup card, realizes now the Padres are at the top of their order. And a switch hitter, Kilby Alvarez, normally a switch hitter, batting left against Al Leiter, which is odd. Usually against the pitchers who feature the straight change, a lot more than Leiter's thrown it. You could see a switch hitter batting left-handed. This is a little more unusual, huh?
Leiter has that nasty stuff on left hands. I mean, we have talked about his statistics all year. And I'll bet if you go over the history of Al Leiter, his history in the major leagues, he has been extremely tough on left-handers when he can throw strikes.
That's a strike, 1-2. Andy Sheets led off the inning with a single. It's 1-2 to Veras. And that's Slider away. Slider has struck out 7. He's walked 2 and hit a batter. And it's in there for a called strike 3. So batting left-handed didn't make a difference for Veras. 1 man away.
Well, one of the reasons you're a switch hitter is because at a young age you want the breaking ball from a pitcher to break into you. And Al Leiter right here throws that nasty slider down and away. Of course, the way Leiter throws that slider down and in on a right-hander, you might as well bat against Leiter left-handed.
That's the sign of a non-confident hitter, huh? When he does that in the middle of the game.
Or a thinker.
Here's Tony Gwynn. And if anybody thinks the game from a hitting standpoint, certainly it's Tony Gwynn, who's almost, and this is bad news, well, it doesn't matter now. Yes, it does, because Janice Gordon is still alive in our sprint strikeout the side inning. And this guy's almost impossible to strike out. Almost once every 30 at-bats, 29.8 coming in. And when he gets to 2 strikes, he'll waste a lot of good pitches, as he did his last at-bat before doubling. Nobody even close to him. Two and out to Gwynn. And Leiter comes inside with an off-speed pitch, 2-1. Let's play Gwynn straight up, which is about all you can do with him. 2-2 now to Tony.
Boy, he is tough. I mean, that's a nasty pitch right there. Gwynn reaches out and fouls it off. He's got 2 doubles off one of the toughest left-handers in the game for left-handed batter. What's this? A nasty pitch from Al Leiter. Breaky ball, really. I mean, it could have been called strike 3. It was right on the corner, breaking off the plate. Leiter clearly calls his own game, as he should.
Still 2-2 to Gwynn. He's capable of fouling off a half dozen before putting it into play. He's handled Leiter pretty well, including tonight.
Is there anybody Gwynn has not handled throughout his career?
It's hard to believe the numbers on him for the last, certainly the last month anyway. Just a .228 hitter in July. Tony Gwynn could probably hit .228 when he's about 70 years old. He pulls that one through the hole, so he got jammed and found some room. And Tony Gwynn has 3 more hits.
2 doubles and a single off Al Leiter. He just stayed alive, and then got jammed and picked up a base hit in the hole. After some nasty pitches from Leiter that he fouled off, Leiter throws him an off-speed pitch that hangs in there, and Tony Gwynn slaps that ball in the hole between first and second. Nobody does it better than this guy as far as that average is concerned.
He had 3 hits last night. He has 3 more tonight. Bob Apodaca, the Mets pitching coach, strolling to the mound. No sign has gone to the bullpen yet. Greg Thorne, Jim Leyritz, the next couple of hitters for the Padres, each with power.
Now, Leiter's coming out of the ball game. Apodaca asked him how he felt. He showed you the pitch count. And I'm sure this is Al Leiter's call. I'm sure there's a discussion on how do you feel. And Leiter stands to win another ball game for the Mets. Gets a nice hand as he leaves the ball field and tips his hat. So Greg McMichael has been called into this ball game to replace Al Leiter.
6-2 New York. Couple of Padres aboard.
Hello.
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Shea Joseph.
Really? My place is always booked.
Well, Shea's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get $179 Ericsson 388, the latest in digital wireless for $49.
No matter how high the thermometer climbs or how sticky the humidity gets, nothing will be hotter this summer than the deals you'll get during Jeep summer days. Like a 0 down, $319 a month Grand Cherokee Laredo lease with only $814 due at signing. Or during summer days, take advantage of low 1.9% financing. But you'd better hurry in because deals this incredibly hot are bound to cool down fast. Check out this $319 lease at your dealer.
Having fun yet? Then get to the Summer of Fun and nobody beats the Wiz. Buy the fun stuff you want and get more fun stuff, like special offers, tickets to games, Madison Square Garden, Radio City Music Hall with select purchases. See newspaper for details. Nobody beats the Wiz, a Cablevision company.
Well, the 65th summer season is in full swing at Radio City Music Hall. And on August the 6th, one of the all-time greats, 15-time Grammy winner, Ray Charles, will perform at Radio City. Order your tickets today by calling Ticketmaster at 212-307-7171. That's a night out. Ray Charles at Radio City.
Should be a terrific night. Got an opportunity. I saw Ray Charles about 25 years ago rehearsing in a club in Los Angeles. It was amazing how
I'd pay for that.
Oh, it was unbelievable the way he was instructing everybody to get involved in the music. So Radio City should be a big night. Ray Charles.
And Greg McMichael taking over now with runners at first and second. And one man out here in the 7th. will go after Greg Vaughn and then Jim Leyritz with the Mets leading 6-2.
And you know how he was with that day in Los Angeles was Willie McCarver. And when Ray Charles heard that he was standing there watching him rehearse, Ray Charles stopped everything to go over and meet Willie McCarver. Ray's wife brought him over.
Mutual Admiration Society. McMichael worked in last night's game. Greg Vaughn 0 for 5 in his career against him, but he finds a hole the other way. Around third and coming home is Sheets. Wynn stops at second. It's an RBI single for Greg Vaughn, and it's now a 6-3 game. The tying run will be coming to the plate. And Jim Leyritz. So McMichael got the ground ball, but it scooted past Baerga, who had done what he could trying to plug it up. Greg Vaughn now with 90 runs batted in. Last night McMichael worked an inning and 2/3. Now he'll go after Leyritz. So Vaughn got his first career hit against McMichael. Leyritz 1 for 7 against him. That's double play depth on the infield. Straight away in the outfield. 0-1 to Leyritz. These guys were on opposite sides of the World Series 2 years ago. Boy, has Leyritz ever bounced around since then. This is his 4th team since leaving the Yankees not yet 2 full years ago. Off the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Leyritz hit the home run off Mark Wohlers, and they second-guessed Mark Wohlers for 5 years after that.
Wohlers still hasn't thrown a strike.
No, he is really struggling this year. Lost his confidence.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Missed with a breaking ball. Keep in mind the on-deck batter is Wally Joyner, and Joyner is 4 for 5 in his career against McMichael. Sometimes this just sounds like a whole bunch of numbers, but then you get a situation like Glenn Allen Hill against John Franco the other day, and you realize there's something to the numbers. Missed again. 3-1. He's a pitch away from loading the bases. Leiter still has 1 more man that he is responsible for on base. That's Gwynn, the runner at second. Vaughn at first belongs to McMichael. And this will be a 3-1 pitch to Leyritz. Inside, the bases are loaded. So last night it was the Padres who came back from 3 runs down. Pardon me, the Mets who came back 3 runs down. Now the Padres trying to mount the comeback. The inning started 6-2 New York. But again, mindful of Wally Joyner's success against McMichael, Bob Apodaca on his way to the mound.
So Apodaca wants Mel Rojas. So Mel Rojas will come into this ball game, and the bases are loaded with Padres.
So McMichael leaves, and if Mel Rojas had fallen out of favor with the New York Mets, and it certainly appeared that he had, well, here's a chance, just as he's had in the last couple of outings, to get right back in the good graces. He'll inherit a bases loaded 1-out situation and a left-hand batter, Wally Joyner, coming up. And again, why does Bobby Valentine occasionally favor Rojas against left-hand batters? It's because of the split-fingered fastball. In his career, and it's not much of a sample at all, Joyner 0 for 2 against Rojas. So Al Leiter now has to sweat and hope the bullpen can bail him out.
Yeah, when you have a guy like Rojas in your ball club, you just can't bury him. You got to hope that he gets it together and comes back. And Bobby Valentine and Mr. Met are hoping for just that tonight. Mr. Met loosening up. Look at, he's got tears in those big eyes.
So Rojas on his way into the game. Baseball Thursday on Fox Sports New York. Jim Tomei has the Tribe closing in on the Central title. Junior knocked on the door last year. Is this the year he makes history and topples Maris's record? Indians Mariners Baseball Thursday, 10 p.m. on Fox Sports New York.
I think it's even going to be more interesting to see as you watch Mel Rojas take his warm-up tosses, and there are his important stats. It's going to be interesting to see if McGuire or Griffey or Sosa can get to the 60 plateau in 154 games.
So now it's Rojas getting ready to inherit that bases loaded jam. We're talking about another one-time closer who's had problems, Mark Wohler. Mark Wohler's last night threw 31 pitches, only 10 were for strikes.
Yeah, when you're dealing with a physical problem, you can overcome it more easily than you can a psychological problem, and that's what Wohlers is dealing with now. Now, Wally Joyner's going to step up with the bases loaded with Padres, and his last time up, watch how fluid this swing is. Just meets the ball. Hit the ball over that right field wall, and now Wally Joyner will bat with the bases loaded.
So Joyner's had a good night so far. Against left-handers, he's a 300 hitter. Against right-handers, a little bit better, 318. So not much to choose from, but the bases loaded with Wynn at third, Vaughn at second, and Jim Leyritz at first. We're in the seventh at 6-3 New York. At his worst, Rojas said about himself, "It feels like I don't know what I'm doing out there." He has come back with a couple of strong outings lately, but misses with his first pitch. And the Padres, who did not start, left-hand hitting Steve Finley in this game, get him on deck as a pinch hitter. 1-0 to Joyner. Off the outside corner. 2 balls, no strikes. There's Finley waiting on deck. The 2-0 delivery way outside, and Rojas is a pitch away from walking in a run.
Well, it's one thing to redeem yourself in front of Bobby Valentine and his coaching staff, but here at Shea, Mel Rojas is trying to redeem himself in front of the Met fans.
That's a strike, 3-1. Dennis Cook, if you're wondering, threw 22 pitches in last night's game, but is starting to loosen up right now. Pardon me, that's Bill Pulsifer. Bill Pulsifer, a possibility. Left-hand batting Finley on deck. 3-1 to Joyner. There's that split finger. Now the count full.
Hey, Mike Piazza's not afraid to call that split finger at any count. And Joyner, swinging at that fastball, realized it's a split finger. He realized it's too late. That's a tough pitch. Mike Piazza likes to call the split finger. He's used to doing it with Hideo Nomo.
So this will be a payoff pitch. With the bases loaded and 1 out. And a liner foul. Soft line drive down the right field line.
There's another swing by Wally Joyner, just trying to meet the ball. You saw him hit a home run just meeting the ball, and right there he stayed alive and swung at the split finger. Pulled it foul. It was a hanger.
Will he get another split? 3-2. All 4 forces in a run. So he threw him the split finger, but Joyner picks up the RBI, and now it's 6-4. Bases are still loaded, so the tying run moves into scoring position, but Jim Leyritz will come out of the ball game, and Ed Giovanola will run for him. So the bases remain loaded.
Pitch hitting for Ruben Rivera, number 12, Steve Finley. for Jim Leyritz.
Those base on
number
balls will get you to
17,
shake your head if you're a manager or you're the pitching coach. It's funny how when you're managing or you're a pitching coach, you have to control your emotions. You can't start throwing things in the dugout because the pitcher walked the hitter, but I'm sure Bobby Valentine would like to do that.
Well, they're checking over who's available for the Padres. Bobby's looking out towards the bullpen now. Pardon me, he's looking into the stands. There's a minor altercation in the stands that has caught the attention of some people. And that's quickly broken up. So now it's Finley with the bases loaded. 0-1.
Finley's shaking his head because of that split finger. He felt he was right on that pitch at the last moment. Ball drops and swings over it.
At third, Thorne. Givinola at second. Joyner at first. Popped up to the infield. We'll call the infield fly rule here, so the batter's automatically out. And now there are 2 men away. A pitch by Rojas to get Finley. Carlos Hernandez, the catcher, is scheduled up, but Greg Myers, left-hand batter, will be the pinch hitter. So Finley hopped up with the bases loaded, but Rojas isn't out of it yet. Bases remain loaded for Greg Myers. Six to 4 New York. 2 men out. We're in the 7th. And Leiter still the pitcher of record on the winning side, hoping Rojas can bail him out. 1-0. Greg Myers just came off the disabled list. Came off last weekend. Leiter could care less. He just wants Myers retired no matter how Rojas does it. There's a hand problem, a chip bone in the hand that forced Myers to the DL. He only got back Friday, so he hasn't had many at-bats yet. But he takes low, 2-0.
The problem about with being behind 2-0 is you kind of stay away from your split finger pitch. You got to throw a strike. You have to throw a strike. You have to throw the heater.
He does, and it's ripped down the right field line. This will at least tie the game. 2 runs have scored. Joyner around third. He's being waved home. The relay throw from Baerga. Now Joyner's heading back to third, and he'll make it. But the game is tied. A 2-run double, a pinch double for Greg Myers. Leiter now cannot win the game. And Mel Rojas does not get it done. He walked in a run. He popped up Finley for the second out. But then Myers pulled him into the corner, and we're tied at 6.
And he popped up Finley because he was aggressive on the count. He could throw that split finger. Myers, he fell behind 2-0, and he had to throw a fastball. Myers knew it, Rojas knew it, and Myers took advantage of the fastball. Rojas had to throw this pitch. It was a hitter's count, and it gave Myers a chance to be aggressive. He didn't have to worry about the split finger pitch. He could have just taken that pitch, but he got one to hit, and he came through in the clutch, driving in 2 runs and tying the ball game up for the Padres.
Mark Sweeney with first base open will bat for the pitcher Scott Sanders. Andy Sheets, who started the inning, is the on-deck hitter. 1 ball, no strikes. So the Padres have put up a 4 spot to tie it here in the 7th. One ball, 1 strike now to Mark Sweeney. Fouled back 1-2. Last year, Sweeney was the best pinch hitter in the league. This year, he's really struggled in that category of just 8 pinch hits and 43 at-bats, as you see. Numbers on him last year were phenomenal. 22 for 60. Joyner at third. And Greg Myers at second. 6-6 game here in the 7th. Two balls, 2 strikes. Pulsifer and Wendell still ready for a call that hasn't come. Pulsifer apparently was ready. Should Bob Apodaca. Bobby Valentine wanted to use the left-hander to pitch to Steve Finley. And a fly ball right field and playable for Lenny Harris. Well, the side retired, but the Padres bat around and score 4. Leiter cannot win. And in some ways, neither can Rojas. Time to stretch at Shea.
Having fun yet? Then get to the Summer of Fun and nobody beats the Wiz. Buy the fun stuff you want and get more fun stuff, like special offers, tickets to games, Madison Square Garden, Radio City Music Hall with select purchases. See newspaper for details. Nobody beats the Wiz, a Cablevision company.
Dodge Ram just keeps posting powerful numbers. Like for the 3rd straight year, Ram was ranked most appealing full-size pickup by J.D. Power & Associates. Plus, you can lease a Dodge Ram for just $219 a month. Or buy with low 2.9 financing, which can save over $1,500 over 36 months. And to think, you never liked math. Just see the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Since Armageddon hit, there's been a lot of this going on. Even a little of this. But the one that hits McDonald's this week is the granddaddy of them all. Catch this summer's other blockbuster, a quarter pounder with cheese, America's favorite fries and a Coke. Think that's big? Grab supersized fries, a supersized drink, and a double quarter pounder with cheese, all for just $1 more. Where can you get a meal with its own gravitational pull? Did somebody say McDonald's?
The Liberty Define excitement on MSG Network. Jim Hampton is firing up the Garden when New York begins a home-and-home series with the Charlotte Sting. Sunday at 4 on MSG. All over the Liberty.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by the Dime, the bank that's with you all the way. So a 6-6 game now. Steve Finley, who pinch hit, stays on in center field for the Padres. Ed Giovanola takes over for Jim Leyritz at third. New pitcher is Donnie Wall for the Padres, and Greg Myers, who pinch hit for Carlos Hernandez, stays in behind the plate. 1-1 now to Lenny Harris. Rojas not the only pitcher who did not do his job that inning. Remember, Greg McMichael faced 2 batters, retired neither. Wall gets over, 1 man away.
Second baseman Carlos Baerga.
Donnie Wall making his 27th appearance of the year. Picked up the win on Sunday after Trevor Hoffman had blown a save after successfully closing out 41.
That's the one thing the Padres have in their favor. You want to keep Hoffman out of the ball game. He's been almost perfect this year.
Carlos Baerga doubled and scored his last time up. 1-0 now to Carlos. So it's been a series of comebacks so far. The Mets last night and the Padres tonight. Donnie Wall now, the pitcher of record for the Padres. This is Rojas for New York. Baerga's got his second hit. Comes with 1 out in the 7th inning. And we'll bring up Bernard Gilkey.
Bernard Gilkey.
So Bobby Valentine put the runner in motion and try and create something here. The Mets have built runs tonight, going as far back as the 1st inning, where McCray led off with a double, and Alfonso hit to the right side to get him to third, and then Olerud brought him home with a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you'd like to have them create runs. This is the type of situation late in the game where you should create a run.
Well, Gilkey helped them do that in the 6th inning. Baerga had led off with a double, and then Bernard hit it hard up the middle, and that got Baerga to third, which forced Bobby Valentine's opposite of the Padres dugout, Bruce Bochy, to pull his infield up. Luis Lopez took advantage and singled to center. 1-1 now to Gilkey. Are only 28 runs batted in.
Well, in the second half last year, he started to hit the ball hard. Hopefully for Bernard and the Mets will do it this year.
Baerga back easily.
When you look at his tools, it's clearly a confidence thing because he has a quick bat.
One ball, 2 strikes to Gilkey.
Nasty pitch right there where the bottom just fell out. Gilkey swung right over the top. Biggest thing scouts would look for in looking at a major league player is, does he still have his bat speed? And Gilkey clearly does. He missed that ball by a lot.
The one thing general managers sometimes shy away from are players who have been successful, have not been lately, and have big contracts. Gilkey's in that category. There are several like him in the major leagues who might force their present teams to pick up large chunks of that contract if they move. Well, that's lined the other way. Baerga turns second. He's going to try for third, and Gwynn will not make a throw. Runners at first and third, 1 man out. And Gilkey has 2 for 4.
Shortstop Luis Lopez.
Well, this is quite a situation here now with Lopez batting. Bruce Bochy, the manager of the San Diego Padres, managed Lopez in A-ball. Now he'll watch him bat in a crucial situation. Now here's Bernard Gilkey hitting the ball off the end of the bat, and Baerga busting it all the way. Doesn't hesitate. It's his call. And the head first slide. So the Mets have runners on first and third. And the story within the ball game, the manager of the Padres watching a former player. He had Lopez in A-ball.
Padres set the infield at double play depth. Lopez takes a strike, 0-1. Lopez singled through a drawn-in infield to drive in a run in the 6th inning.
Go home. Bouncing ball, go home.
In the air, center field. It should be deep enough. Finley moving up. Baerga coming down the line. Finley's throw cut off by Joyner. They got Gilkey in a rundown, but the run's already scored. Joyner applies the tag, but the job is done by Lopez. The Mets have taken the lead on a sacrifice fly by Lopez. Although Gilkey is doubled up, Baerga had scored well before the out was made at first base. So the Mets take the lead, a run on 2 hits, and nobody left. At the end of 7, the Mets back in front.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Card Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover Card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Why are all these light trucks getting new tires? It's Sears Light Truck Tire Sale, featuring our best-selling light truck tire, the Bridgestone Dueler APT, as low as $59.99 with a 50,000-mile limited tread wear warranty. And where else will you find this incredible selection of top tire brands for light trucks and SUVs? Only at Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
Summer means clearance. Get big cashback savings or low financing on Plymouth Voyager, the lowest price minivan you can buy. See your nearby Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
There are millions of reasons to fly today. Only one that matters to you. At Delta Airlines, it is our pleasure to get you to the place you want to be. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
Strange game, this baseball. That run in the 7th inning the Mets scored belongs to Mel Rojas. So technically, he can win this game. Bill Pulsifer, though, will come out of the bullpen and do the pitching for New York as we go to the 8th inning.
Well, Pulsifer was on his way back to the minor leagues, and now he's pitching in the major leagues. And he's going to pitch in a crucial situation. Now, here's Lopez hitting that sac fly. It's the fly ball to center field. Watch Finley get in position to throw. But the ball is cut off. Baerga would have scored on the throw. Wally Joyner cuts the throw off, flips to second base. Gilkey at the last moment realized that nobody was at first, and Joyner was able to beat him back there. But the Mets were able to get the run, and now they have a 1-run lead. It's up to Bill Pulsifer.
So Pulsifer will face Andy Sheets, the shortstop, and then Kilvio Veras and Tony Gwynn as we go to the 8th inning. 7-6 New York. And Pulsifer hits the outside corner at the knees, 0-1. Sheets saw one pitch in the 7th inning, his first time up in the ball game, and he singled to center. He would come around to score. A Greg Vaughn base hit. That just missed, 1-1. So Pulsifer, as Fran started to mention, getting a second chance now as a New York Met.
Quite a story. He was on his way to the minor leagues. Here's that ground ball he needed.
And Lopez with a looping throw retires Sheets. 1 out, nobody on in the 8th inning. Back to the top of the order for the Padres and Kilvio Veras. But let's remind you about the final game of this 3-game series. We'll have it for you on Fox Sports New York tomorrow night. Matt Loughlin starts it off with Mets game time at 7. Bobby Jones will face Southpaw Sterling Hitchcock.
This is a much bigger game for the Mets than it is for the Padres. Mets have that 1-run lead. They've had a lead in this ball game. Padres come back and tied it up, and now the Mets have the lead once again.
And Veras back to batting from the right side now against left-handed Pulsifer. Takes the ball. Remember his last time up after going 0 for 3 against Al Leiter, batting from the right side. He decided, what the heck, turn around and bat left-handed. He struck out. And the breaking ball on the inside corner, a ball and a strike. Al Leiter struck out 8 in 6 1/3 innings. But they're taking no decision. Left with the Mets ahead 6-2. Pulsifer jammed him. Now it's 1-2 on Veras. Now this is a big inning for Pulsifer too, because all he really needs to do here now is get 3 outs and get the game to the Mets closer, John Franco.
Well, Bobby Valentine wanted to send him back to the minor leagues where Pulsifer would become a starting pitcher again. Well, he's in relief against the Padres, and Franco throwing the pin.
Right there for a called 3rd strike. Kilvio Veras is struck out for the 3rd time tonight. And Pulsifer has retired the first 2 here in the 8th inning. Now it gets tougher. Tony Gwynn.
One thing Pulsifer has shown is he's not afraid to challenge the hitters. He's very aggressive in throwing the ball over the plate. And Pulsifer gets a key strikeout, so 2 men out here in the 8th inning. Another look at that strike 3 call.
Tony Gwynn 3 straight hits in this game, and that's a foul ball. Second straight night now that Gwynn has had 3 hits. How do you choose who to give it to? Look for the youngest one, right?
That's right. Or you close your eyes and flip it up into the stands. Tony Gwynn is a tough hitter to set up. A lot of times pitchers and catchers want to set up major league hitters. How do you do it with Tony Gwynn? He just had 3 hits off one of the toughest left-handers in the game.
And he hits that one deep to left center. Gilkey on the run, but it's in for a base hit. Gwynn on his way to second. And Tony Gwynn has his 4th hit of the game, a 2-out double. And incidentally, he is now 6 for 8 in his career against Bill Pulsipher.
Isn't it supposed to be tough for a left-hander to face a left-hander?
And then again, Tony Gwynn is a whole different animal.
Boy, he's as comfortable against left-handers as he is against right-handers. He just exudes confidence at the plate. When you get to the big leagues, that's one of the most important things. You got to believe in yourself, and Gwynn believes in himself. Who said left-handers can't hit that high fastball? Watch this swing. It's the second one he's hit tonight, high fastball off the southpaw.
Out over the plate, too, which is not what Pulsipher had in mind. So are they killing time here for John Franco? Greg Vaughn will be the next batter.
Piazza's out on the mound looking into the dugout. He was probably sent out there by Bobby V and Bob Apodaca.
Now after Vaughn, Ed Giovanola is scheduled up, but you might have noticed the last shot we've shown you that Ken Caminetti has grabbed a bat. So that probably was a time by. Bob Apodaca will come out. It's Caminetti, but he doesn't hit next. First, it's going to be Vaughn.
Well, you want to face Vaughn, who's healthy. Now, Caminetti's not in the ball game for only one reason, and that's because he's not feeling good. He's had minor injuries, which affect him on the field. So do you make a decision and pitch to a healthy Greg Vaughn, or do you go after Ken Caminetti?
Well, it's not going to be Pulsipher's pitch to make, as he will leave the game, and with 2 outs here in the 8th inning, and the Mets holding a 1-run lead, their closer John Franco will come into the game. So Franco's going to have to go after Vaughn, try to get out of the 8th inning.
Well, Vaughn is a guy who's shown a lot of power. He's having an MVP type season. He's hitting 337 home runs and 90 RBIs. Do you go after him, or do you go after Caminetti here in the 8th inning?
Well, you see the line score. The Mets jumped in front of this game, building a run in the 1st inning after a leadoff double by McCray. Advanced to 3rd on an Alfonso grounder and scored on a sacrifice fly. The Mets would tack on single runs in the 4th and 5th. Piazza hit a home run in the 4th, and Todd Hundley singled in a run in the 5th inning. And Wally Joyner hit a 2-run home run, second straight night that he's homered, and the Padres were back to within 1, but the Mets put up a 3-spot in the bottom half of the 6th inning, only to see San Diego bat around in their half of the 7th and come up with 4 to tie the game. Luis Lopez, a sacrifice fly, has put the Mets back on top, and now Bruce Bochy will make his move, whether it's in this inning or the 9th. He'll get Caminetti into the game.
Can't say enough about the job Bochy has done in San Diego. The Padres are trying to get a new stadium, and they needed a successful season to do it. And Bochy has really been able to handle all of the players, keep them happy, get them enough playing time, and they have a big lead in the Western Division of the National League. But now it's up to John Franco.
So Franco now in his 37th game. Last time he appeared was at Wrigley Field over the weekend. And a 3-0 fastball to Glenn Allen Hill became a 2-run homer that gave the Cubs the lead, and they would hold on to win. Wally Joyner already has a 2-run home run in this game. That's about hit the Padres 13-11. So Pulsipher got the first 2, but then Gwynn hit a high fastball off the wall in left center field. Pulsipher's work is done. And John Franco becomes the 5th pitcher utilized tonight by Bobby Valentine. A couple of ex-teammates, Tony Gwynn and Luis Lopez. So Franco will go after Vaughn. But Greg Vaughn has not been in the National League all that long, so he's only had 2 at-bats against John Franco. He's 1 out of 2. That's Gwynn on second with 2 men out. And a fastball right there, up in 1.
And John has made a pretty good living over the years throwing that off-speed stuff to home run hitters. You don't want to give Vaughn something he can drive.
Wasn't going to drive that. 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch well off the plate.
When John has that good arm speed and takes something off his fastball, he's very tough. And you get a home run hitter like Vaughn, who knows what his job is. He has to drive in runs. You might get him to be a little bit over anxious.
Gwynn with not much speed at this point at second base. On the inside corner, 1 and 2. He's had some Achilles heel problems during his career.
Well, the toughest pitch to hit over that fence is a good changeup because you have to supply your own power. See if John goes back and throws his money pitch down and out of the strike zone.
Thorne's got plenty of power. The fans know it. They're hoping Franco can slip 1 more strike past him. Needed some help there. Piazza did a little goaltending, so Gwynn still at second and the count 2 and 2. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. And now the count full.
Well, the option for Piazza and Franco is to throw the off-speed pitch. If you miss, you face Caminetti. He was out of the lineup because of an injury. On a good fastball here. He's got to be keyed for the heater, 3 and 2.
Win a short lead, and the payoff pitch. Got him! Franco does his job, and the Mets are out of the inning. The Padres fail to score. A 2-out double by Tony Gwynn will strand him at second as Franco strikes out Vaughn. Still 7-6 New York.
Having fun yet? Then get to the summer of fun and nobody beats the whiz. Buy the fun stuff you want and get more fun stuff, like special offers, tickets to games, Madison Square Garden, Radio City Music Hall with select purchases. See newspaper for details. Nobody beats the whiz. A Cablevision company.
Only God makes better copies.
I believe in brotherhood.
International Week continues with African American Day on Sunday, August 2nd. All fans will get a Negro League cap free, courtesy of Chase.
This Negro League cap is from the Newark Eagles.
Be here when the Mets take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507.
This is rare footage. John Franco in the batter's box. Bobby Valentine did not care to double switch in the 8th inning when he brought Franco in. He's behind in the count 0-2. And Franco, in anticipation of his first at bat in a couple of years, was in the batter's box good 30 seconds before the first pitch was delivered. And I hope he savored the time.
Well, John has a good rip in batting practice. But that should be illegal throwing that pitch to a pitcher. I was told that all those kids at Lafayette High School in Brooklyn can hit. Watch how much Franco misses the ball. I think he closed his eyes before he lunged.
1-0 to Brian McCray. So John Franco has had his moment in the sun, his fun time. The business stuff comes in the top of the 9th inning.
Well, he got a big out in the 8th inning, striking out Greg Vaughn with a changeup.
The 2-0 to McCray, an off-speed pitch. That's on the outside corner, 2-2.
I'm sure there'd be questions about the double switch, one of the most overrated things in all of baseball. John Franco ended up with a bat in his hand, but.
And that's line to center. Brian McCray has 4 hits.
Third baseman Eduardo Alfonso.
Bobby Valentine might well have felt, and you know, it's tough to analyze from the standpoint of knowing what's going to happen the rest of the inning. He brings Franco into the game with a 1-run lead. Now he may be thinking, perhaps I want to use Butch Husky as a pinch hitter later on. Remember, Lenny Harris is in the game. Todd Hundley is out of the game. So the Mets are down to one more outfielder, and that's Butch Husky.
And as I mentioned, that double switch sometimes is used too often, and right there Bobby Valentine decides to not use the double switch. And he's got Butch Husky if he needs him to come off the bench to swing the bat.
If Franco given up the tying run, he probably would have hit for him anyway. Alfonso trying to protect McCray, who had bluffed a start. McCray had gone about 6 or 8 feet down the line and stopped.
As a catcher, you have to be careful. You don't want to put that glove out there where the hitter can make contact. McCray bluffed and went back to first, but watch Alfonso.
You make contact with that catcher's glove, it's catcher's interference. Batter gets first base. Error is awarded to, or charged anyway, to the catcher.
You don't want to be too aggressive as a catcher going out there.
Alfonso hits it in the air. Easy play for Steve Finley in center. And now there are 2 men away.
Well, Brian McCray has good speed. He can steal second base and get into scoring position for John Olerud. The only thing is you are taking a hole away from Olerud at first base. I think sometimes that's overdone also, keeping that hole open.
Especially with a guy like Olerud, who is not going to hit the same way.
Right, he sprays the ball all over the place. So you're not really taking the hole away from him. See the defense, the way it's set up, and a lot of managers like to keep the hole open so they have that runner stay put at first base. McCray, if he can steal second base, now gets in the scoring position for a spray hitter like John Olerud.
Brian McCray, 4 more hits. Average now approaching 270. Late June it was what, about 220. McCray running. Pitch taken for a ball.
Nice.
And McCray thrown out by Greg Myers.
Oh, that was a changeup. Myers had a quick release, and I'm telling you, right on the money to get Brian McCray.
So, no runs, 1 hit. We go to the 9th. 7-6 New York.
It's coming. And this time there's something new. Now there's a wind tunnel by Hoover that's self-propelled, so it almost works by itself. Tests show wind tunnel picks up more dirt than any other clean air upright. And now you can get one that's self-propelled. Self-propelled wind tunnel.
How far can you go on a tank of Mobile Super Plus? How about London? Or Rio? Or any of the over 250 destinations that American Airlines flies to worldwide? Every time you fill up with Mobile Super Plus, you can pick up a game packet that includes 100 Advantage miles and the chance to win a grand prize of air travel for a whole year. So fill up with Mobile Super Plus. Play, take wing, and take off.
I believe I can fly.
I believe in brotherhood.
International Week continues with African American Day on Sunday, August 2nd. All fans will get a Negro League cap free, courtesy of Chase.
This Negro League cap is from the Newark Eagles.
Be here when the Mets take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
Show up at Shea for African American Day.
Die-hard fans remember Homer, the first Mets mascot back in 1962. Homer was a favorite to Polo Grounds faithful, even though the team didn't hit many homers. For more great Mets memories, tune to Fox Sports New York.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by MCS Cannon, keeping people in business in business. And the Mets looking to make it 2 straight over the Padres, take a 1-run lead into the 9th inning. Ed Giovanolo will be the hitter rather than Ken Caminetti, at least for the time being. Remember, Ken Caminetti was on deck as a potential pinch hitter should Greg Vaughn had gotten on in the 8th inning against John Franco. But Caminetti, who did not start tonight and did not start a couple of games ago because of old rib cage muscles taken out of last night's game, stays on the bench.
And you have to make note of that, because here's a situation where you need the 1 run and you got a power hitter that you're not putting in your lineup for one reason: he's not healthy.
0-1 to Giovanola, and he hits the ball in the air. Plenty of hang time for Gilkey. 1 out. So Franco gets Giovanola, but now it'll be Wally Joyner.
There's Caminetti sitting in the dugout. Now, if he was healthy enough to be on deck last inning, he's healthy enough to get up there this inning with a lot of power.
And the fastball, 1-0 to Wally Joyner.
Sometimes a manager will throw a body up there in the on-deck circle just so you'll pitch to a guy like Greg Vaughn.
Fouled away, 1-1. Joyner's had a good night, a single, a 2-run homer, and a walk. That walk with the bases loaded. So he's been on 3 times in 4 trips to the plate. Also fouled out to third. Not much against Franco in his career. John Franco actually got to grab a bat in the last of the 8th inning. That was John's first at bat since April 9th of 1996 at Cincinnati. And he's just off the outside corner, 2-1. John hoping to close out his 21st save of the year. And the 2-1 to Joyner evens the count. Bobby Jones and Sterling Hitchcock tomorrow night. Hope you'll be with us for the series finale here on Fox Sports New York. 2-2 pitch. Line to center. McCray has to play it on a hop. And the tying run is on with 1 away.
Well, we've raved about Wally Joyner all night. That's one of the reasons why. He just gets up there. He takes that nice fluid swing. Picks up a base hit.
All right, so Joyner had not done much against Franco, but Steve Finley coming up now has.
Look at that short stride, short stroke, head down on the ball. This guy can flat hit. He's done it throughout his career.
Finley 4 out of 8 against John Franco.
Finley wasn't cheating himself, was he?
Was looking to break into that construction project by the Whitestone Bridge. Cause a little disruption. Finley did not start. He's had all kinds of problems this year against left-handers. Used to be used at the top of the order by the San Diego Padres. And he punches that one. It's a twisting foul. And it's 0-2.
Now we've seen Franco pitch Finley up. We'll see if he goes down out of the strike zone like he did it to Greg Vaughn.
Vaughn had his chance with a tying run on second and 2 men out, but Franco struck him out. And Finley stays alive. This guy is a treat to watch play center field. He is an outstanding defensive center fielder.
Padres feel he's a Gold Glover. A few years back, they felt he was the best center field, best defensive center field in the National League. Center fielder.
Still 0-2 with 1 out. Joyner on first. Franco deals. Could this end it? Lopez needs to get one and doesn't even get that. Oh boy. Lopez in his haste to try to turn a double play bobbles the ball, and now the tying run is at second with 1 out.
Catcher Greg Myers.
Well, Lopez going down on a knee like Ray Ordonez, but he went down very hard. Ordonez does it in a smooth fashion. When you go down hard like that, it might jolt that head where the ball plays funny tricks on you. Once you go down and you hammer your knee on the ground, and it's not in smooth fashion, you create a problem for yourself.
And now a problem for the Mets. Ordonez not available, and Greg Myers takes ball 1. Myers doubled with the bases loaded to tie the game in the 7th inning. Again, the Mets will hope to get a ground ball to the infield. They're set up for 2. The outfield a step towards right. And the 1-0. Low and away. Franco got the ground ball he wanted. But Luis Lopez couldn't hold on, and now Caminetti is on deck with the pitcher due up next. It'll be a 2-0 pitch. And a fastball for a strike, 2-1. So in this strategic battle, will it come down to Ken Caminetti with the game on the line? He's on deck, but now it's Joyner at second and Finley at first. 2-1 pitch is in for a strike, and the count is even. Doing in the bullpen. This is Franco. And all Franco. And it's off the outside corner. Well, with Caminetti on deck, 1 out in the ninth, you certainly wouldn't expect the Padres to put the runners in motion here. But remember, that's not the Ken Caminetti of a couple of years ago, 100% healthy and involved in an MVP season. Joyner at second, Finley at first, and a payoff pitch coming to Myers. They're not running, and it's bounced back to Franco. There's one. Put it the box. Mets win. Mets win. Sometimes you need a little help, John.
Huge win for the Mets. Second game of a 3-game series. And Bobby Valentine, I'm sure, shaking his head. They had a double play ball that Luis Lopez bobbled, but John Franco came back, put that out of his mind, and got the double play. Final game of this 3-game series tomorrow night here at Shea Stadium.
That double play felt better to Luis Lopez than it did anybody else, probably in the dugout, in the stands, or on the field. Quinn did his job with 4 hits. Luis Lopez, who had a very good game offensively as well, driving in a couple of runs, drawing a walk. Continues fine play to pick up Ray Ordonez, but the error, which could have proved costly, did not. And the Mets have won the first 2 of this 3-game series with the San Diego Padres.
Oh, Franco got Myers, hit that ball out over the plate, bouncing right back to him. He goes to second for 1, over to first. Double play, and as Howie said, sometimes you need a little help.
So Franco gets his 21st save. Piazza helped with a home run, and the Mets are 7-6 winners.
The ultimate Derek Jeter dream date. First, you call a girl. Tell her that you're preparing a perfect candlelight dinner for her. I throw in some R&B. I can't cook, so I'll order some food. Tell them to give me the works and put it on my Discover card. Splash on a little cologne. Throw on your apron. And the Discover card cashback bonus is the icing on the cake. What else would she want to do but to watch highlights of us winning the World Series in 1996?
It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Summer means clearance at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. Clearance means low finance rates. Now get 1.9 APR on all Chrysler and Plymouth minivans. Clearance means America's lowest priced minivan, Plymouth Voyager, costs even less. Clearance means big factory authorized cash back. Get $1,500 cash back on Plymouth Grand Voyager and Chrysler Town & Country LXI. Summer means clearance. Clearance means savings at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
It's out there waiting. And in all our years of experience, we've learned one thing. You're not the only one who depends on good brakes. With upfront pricing at Midas, we first perform a 45-point inspection to find what repairs are needed and what can wait, so you only pay what we quote you. Come into Midas today, because you never know what you might run into next.
Fortune 500 companies know that when it comes to renting a car, National Car Rental gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. National Car Rental.
A wild one tonight at Shea Stadium. The Mets coming up with the victory over San Diego by a score of 7-6. The Mets have now won 8 of their last 10 ball games. Mel Rojas had some problems coming out of the bullpen, but the Mets were able to take the lead and give him the victory, so he improves to 4-2. Mike Piazza and Wally Joyner had home runs for Piazza, his 17th. A shot to deep center field, measured at some 430 feet. As for our Coors Light play of the game, it involves our post-game guest, Luis Lopez, playing shortstop tonight, and the play occurred in the 4th inning. Chris Gomez at the plate, and a brilliant job by Lopez. He ranges far to his left, dives, comes up with the ball, and fires a strike to John Olerud to retire Gomez. Luis starting tonight in place of the injured Ray Ordonez, but when Ray is out and Luis in, not much of a difference defensively, Luis.
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, come on. Ray is the best I ever seen, I ever played with, and it's an honor to be a teammate of his, and he's going to be something in the future.
But again, when you do come in, there is not a drop-off, as I see it, defensively, and you also give the club a lift offensively, as tonight you drove in 2 runs.
That's good to know. I take pride of my job, which is coming off the bench and back up Carlos, Alfonso, and also Ray. So it's a good feeling, to put a good game. But hey, there's nobody like him.
Well, I mentioned that Mel Rojas comes up with the victory. Sacrifice fly by Luis in the 7th inning. Gives the Mets their 7th run of the ball game. It gives them the victory. And when you have to, you bore down, came up with what was an important sacrifice fly.
Well, in that situation right there, I'm just trying to hit the ball hard and try to hit it in the outfield. Of course, we take a base hit, but he gave me a good pitch to hit, and I drove it over to the center field. And it was a good job by Carlos hustling all the way home, and by Bernard getting caught between. I mean, they can do. That's what he needs to do. He needs to tag to go to second base, and whatever happened after that, it happened.
There were some anxious moments, of course, in the 9th inning for the Mets. John Franco on trying to